Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to another edition of Russ Can Fly. I don't need to go to the airport because I'm already here. All right, so before I go any further, I definitely want to give my subscribers a shout out. Actually, these are some of my favorite parts of the video, actually, is giving a subscriber a shout out, because it basically says, I really appreciate that you took the time to subscribe to my little YouTube channel, and it means a lot. So this is such an important part of the channel. So my subscriber shout out is, and listen to this name, I love this name. I absolutely love this name. My subscriber shout out goes to Luciana Bertucci. Luciana, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I love that name, Luciana Bertucci. Anyway, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Really, folks like you who subscribe to the channel, who take time out of your really busy days to watch these videos, to encourage me, to leave a comment, it means a lot. My whole pilot experience has been so positive because of all of the folks like you that have decided to, subscribe to my channel. So Luciana, I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. So I have to film up here because there's a lot of people out today. It is gorgeous today. As soon as I woke up this morning, I already knew, I am definitely flying. There was no doubt about it. And so definitely happy for the weather, but trying to make sure I still maintain social distancing, and there's some babies and stuff, so I definitely wanted to be up here. But yep, I'm going flying. So I think today what I really want to work on, and I think what we're going to be working on, are basic maneuvers, things like slow flight, power off stalls, power on stalls, steep bank turns, that kind of thing. So rather than talk about it, let me be about it. Let's get to the plane and get this started. Yeah. At least it's not as hot, too.
Yeah. It should get warmer as the day goes on, but that's one good thing about the morning, I guess.
Mm-hmm. A little cooler. Clear prop. Time note.
Good.
Brakes release.
Parking brake is off.
Parking brake is off.
And then if you want to go through the emergency, if you remember from yesterday.
Yeah, so and there goes my camera. Yeah, you gotta be prepared for everything. But yeah, unfortunately my camera failed, so won't get this shot for the rest of the flight, but at least I have the audio.
Wings filled, Cessna 5133 Kilo, taking runway 6, departing out to the north wings.
Alright, let's see if we can get this baby. Alright, clear. Clear on the runway.
Takeoffs are always so much fun, especially that first one. A lot of stuff to think about. I mean, you got to make sure that you get enough right rudder input because of the left turning tendencies. Make sure you stay on center line, rotate at the correct speed, check oil pressure and temps and stuff. But it's still, there's nothing like it. It is great.
Alright, heels to the floor, full power.
I actually got a question about why do I say heels to the floor? Well, the reason why that is because on the top of the rudder pedals are the brakes. And so if you put your heels on the floor, you're less apt to hit the brakes by mistake.
Ooh. And rotate. She took off by herself, really.
Yeah.
They don't have that fancy 10 degrees and stuff like that. Just trying to pitch for 75 knots.
Okay.
Until you get clear, until you feel comfortable, you got enough altitude and you clear these obstacles and stuff. Then you could bring the nose down to about 80, 85. But I always say if we do ever lose an engine, there's like a field right there to the left here and right there.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And Somerset traffic, Skyhawk 23 Golf Golf, joining a long 45 for left downwind for 30, Somerset.
Yeah, bring it down to 80 now.
Forward follow, 13 miles to the north.
Pitching for 80 at this point.
Yep, and then you want to climb, and then once you get out, you could turn to about 330 heading.
Okay.
You could turn now.
Okay.
So this is a pretty typical training flight when we're getting ready to do maneuvers. So you heard my flight instructor say you can go ahead and turn out to 330. Now, if you're on a heading of 360, that's due north. So we're a little shy, like 30 degrees of due north. But we make this turn out from the airport to 330 to head to the practice area. And for those of you who are in the area, we're around Pottstown or thereabouts, and I can usually see the limit cooling towers off in the distance. So we're on our way to the practice area right now.
This is great. Like speed, we're still climbing about 500 feet per minute. It's not the best, but it's enough.
Okay.
And we're visibly able to see everything.
Yeah.
Like there's no excuse. Like if we're climbing any higher, we're just literally looking straight at the sky.
Right.
Somerset traffic, Skyhawk 23 Golf Golf, turning left base 30, Somerset.
Make like an initial climb up to 3,000.
Okay.
I might just, we'll see. And then we'll go up.
Mountain traffic, Mooney, Mayfield, runway 32, mountain traffic.
Like 4,500, maybe above these the scattered clouds.
Yeah.
One thing I suck at still too is it's really hard is telling how high the clouds are at.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like they look like they're right above me, and then I climb up 1,000 feet, and they still look the same as they did when I was 1,000 feet below.
Right. Yeah, I have no feel for that either at all.
It's tough. Important to try and maintain your altitude here. And then you have below 110, so you can put 10 degrees of flaps in.
10 degrees flaps.
Don't pitch up too high, but pitch up enough to maintain this altitude.
Gotcha.
And now you're below 85, you can put the rest of the flaps in. And as you get to 60, you want to start adding a bit of power until to try and stay level here. And slow down right to 45 to 59.
Okay.
However much power you need to stay level here, so I'd add a bit more power, pitch up a tiny bit. You want to be about 5 to 10 degrees pitch up.
Field 859 Papa Alpha, turning downwind.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so add more power. More power. I need a lot of it. Right, as soon as you hear the stall horn, you want to reduce the angle of attack to get out of it.
Yeah.
Right? So I'd add more power. More power. You want to keep this pitch attitude the whole time, throughout this whole thing, so you have to use power for altitude if you want to climb. You want to add power if you want to descend, you take out some power.
Gotcha.
So we want to climb back up to 4,500, you have to add a bit of power. And while you do that, can you give me a nice left turn to the north?
Left turn to
Let's make it a right turn, actually.
the right turn.
Nice and smooth.
Okay, I thought I would explain a little bit about what's going on here. So there's a couple things that I think are interesting. So this is one of the basic maneuvers that every student pilot, every pilot has to master. It's called slow flight. So basically what's happening is you hear me, my CFI telling me to bring the engine down to a certain RPM, which creates a certain amount of speed or reduces the speed. Then you hear him talk about putting in degrees of flaps. So if you're ever on a regular commercial airplane, you'll see those kind of come down sometimes off of the wings. What that does is it creates more lift, but it actually slows the plane down. So I'm basically flying the plane like I'm coming in for a landing. And the reason why you want to be able to do slow flight is to be able to control the plane, make turns, be coordinated while you're coming in for a landing, but doing it high enough that if something goes wrong, like you get into a spin or for whatever reason the nose comes down and you end up in a dive, you got a couple thousand feet to work with. But this is to kind of get those maneuvers under your belt so that when you're closer to the ground you don't make a mistake. And that weird noise in the background, that that's the stall horn. That means the plane is getting ready to stall, you're losing lift, you better do something quickly.
Alright, so if on this heading we want to climb up to 4,700.
Okay.
Or let's make it 4,800. You just add power. Enough to so you don't speed up too much, but enough so you get a climb going, right?
Gotcha.
That could be full power, that could be 2,200, 2,300 RPM. It's whatever you need to climb. At about 50 knots, if you can stay there.
For an instruction, clear. Clear. Wing traffic, King Air 35 Charlie Victor taxiing.
So this is a very important basic maneuver, being able to do slow flight. Full flaps, what they call dirty configuration, and being able to maneuver. This sets you up for being able to land properly, keeping the plane in control, making sure your turns are coordinated, all of that kind of stuff. So slow flight, definitely a crucial basic maneuvering skill.
Alright, so once you get on that heading, you can bring your power. So, stay on this heading for a bit. You're gonna go once you get that descent going, 500 per minute. You're gonna choose like an altitude. So let's say we descend and get to like 4,300 or 5,300 or 5,200. You're gonna go like power completely idle, and then you're gonna maintain whatever altitude you chose.
Okay.
Okay. So maintaining, you might need to pull back a lot. Okay.
Gotcha.
And then as soon as it stalls, well, do you remember how to recover?
Yeah, so reduce the angle of attack at the same time, power to full, and then wait for positive rate.
Yeah. So that first part is right. So it's always immediately just reduce angle of attack, full power, and then you want to get the airflow of the wings. You don't want to pull back too early to start a climb yet. You want to get like a speed back up a little bit. So just and your main goal is try not to lose that much altitude. Okay.
Gotcha.
So reduce angle attack, full power, and then you can start pitching up once you know the plane is flying again. And then the first 10 degrees, so 130 to 20, right away. As soon as you start climbing.
Okay.
Like as soon as you pitch up, just right away. And then you're looking for 65 and a positive rate for the rest of the flaps to come.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, you can go power to 1500. Bring that nose down. At about 500 feet per minute. And once you get to 4,200, you're 60, you're good. Go power idle, and now maintain this altitude.
King Air 35 Charlie Victor, departing to the southwest. Last transmission time for departure. Where you at, Tommy?
Full power.
First snatch.
Okay, roger.
Right away. 65.
Yep, so don't pitch up too high, be able to get that 65, so we'll push down a bit. Just in order to speed up.
Back to 65.
Positive rate.
Positive rate.
That was essentially perfect. We'll climb back up to 4,000, 5,500, and we'll try one more time.
Okay.
So what you saw there is something called a power off stall. And so what's the whole point of that? All right, so let me unpack that a little bit. So a power off stall is when you basically have the airplane in what's called a dirty or landing configuration. You have full flaps so that you have a lot of lift, but you're able to slow the airplane down. That's the way the plane will be configured when you're coming in for a landing. And so the whole idea of doing this power off stall is to figure out how to recover from it. not to stall, because stalling means that the airplane's wings stop producing lift. You kind of don't want that, because if the wings aren't producing lift, that means the airplane can crash. You don't want that to happen. Really what you're training is you're training for the recovery phase. And so if you saw back in the clip where the airplane, you hear the stall horn, it gets real annoying, that should be your warning that you need to reduce the angle of attack, but you really want the airplane to stall because you want to recover from it. That's what you saw when the airplane just kind of dropped a little bit. That was the stall. And the whole thing is to get into the pattern of recovering from the stall. That way, if you are too close to the ground or whatever, you know what to do in terms of recovering if you start flying too slow. So that basic maneuver there was called a power off stall.
First notch. Looking for 65. A positive rate. 65.
Somerset traffic,
Flaps up.
southeast departure, Somerset.
Perfect. Let's stay here at 4,300.
Okay.
5,300, sorry, 5,000. And then we'll do a power on stall.
Okay.
We'll fly here for a bit, and while I talk to you about it. So what we're going to do, this is simulating like we're going around or taking off, and we pitch up too high.
Right.
With full power and we stall. So how to get into it, it's in clean configuration, so clean is just mixtures rich, no flaps, okay?
Okay.
Lights and all that kind of stuff are on still. What you're going to do is bring your power to 1,500, slow down about 55 to 60 knots.
Okay.
Not yet. We'll wait. We'll wait a bit. I'm going to turn you around and then we'll do it on east heading. But so we're going to slow down to 60 knots, 55 to 60 knots, and then once you get there, you want to go full power and then pitch up.
Okay.
While you're doing that, you want to be sure to keep the plane coordinated. You probably need right rudder. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that wing wants to. That's why I hate those.
Yeah,
I hate that wing.
I hate them too. But as long as you keep that thing in the ball in the middle, you're good.
You're good.
Don't press the rudder too much. Like if I see the ball going that way, that's not good at all. Okay. That's gonna lead to our spin and stuff, so that's not good.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then we stall. So you want to go about 30 degrees pitch up. You don't want to go too fast. Just fast enough so the speed is decreasing.
Okay.
And then once we stall, you either feel like the wing drop or maybe just a normal stall. And then once you stall, you already have full power in, so the only way you get out of it is just reduce the angle of attack.
Right.
Reduce the angle of attack and then get a climb at like 65 just to climb up again.
Gotcha.
All right, let's go to the east. Any direction you can turn. And then we'll do it right when we turn to the east. Use this as an opportunity to clear the area and stuff.
Okay, so you heard my CFI talk about a power on stall. I hate power on stalls. I really, really hate power on stalls because the right wing wants to do this drop thing and the plane was almost going to a spin. It's a little heart pounding, but it's important because basically it teaches you how to recover from an over aggressive climb. So if you're ever in an airplane, you're taking off, there's a pitch angle that's the right angle that you want to have. If you're too aggressive with your pitch angle, the plane can stall and fall to the ground. You don't want that, and so you practice how to recover from them.
Miles southwest, maneuvering for downwind, 417.
Okay.
Power to 1,500. And let the plane slow down. Try and stay on this head.
Gotcha. About 65.
60. At the most. You can go a little slower than that too if you want. Try and in order to slow down, try and maintain that altitude.
Pitching, yeah.
Yeah. So like maintain like 4,000. Just maintain this altitude and you'll slow down enough. Slower. And right about here, go full power and start pitching up. Pitch up more, right about here should be good enough. Your speed coming down.
Yeah.
Just keep it coordinated, try not to let the plane turn. Don't put too much white water in, but just enough to keep it coordinated. A bit more pitch up. Reduce the angle of attack and get a climb going at 65.
Traffic 1 Alpha Tango is extended downwind.
Beautiful.
That's perfect. Circle around and land on
Bring your power back to 1500. Let's just do it one more time.
Okay.
And just maintain forward at 5,300. That'll slow you down enough.
Okay.
And those are some of your basic maneuvers, and it's something that I have to be proficient in order to pass my check ride. And the check ride is just what you do to get your pilot's license when you've met all your other requirements. Think of it as like a driving test. But basic maneuvers are very important. You know, there's certain requirements in terms of how much altitude I can lose when I do a power off or power on. But these are just a few of the more basic and definitely key maneuvers. Doing turns, doing stalls, and that kind of thing. So just wanted to share this part of, you know, my flight training, and I will tell you that I'm feeling better about these. It used to be difficult to figure out how to get into the right configuration, but I'm getting better at it. So that's the basic maneuvers, and you know, I'm just gonna keep practicing, keep getting better until I have them down and I'm ready to do my check ride. Whew. Okay, that was a lot of work, and I think at some point the camera fell down, so I hope I got as much as I could with that, but I have to see when I watch it back. But man, what a magnificent flight. I mean, you know, still trying to work on the landings. There was this crosswind across the runway, which makes it like landing difficult, but I mean, gosh, I wish I had my own plane. I wish I had my own plane. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, I wish I had my own plane so I could like just come out here and just fly. I mean, because it's just gorgeous. I mean, it's just almost perfect flying weather. It's a little bumpy up there, and like I said, that crosswind was a little tricky. But I'm getting back to it, and I'm definitely beginning to feel more like a pilot. Before I would get up there, I was completely overwhelmed. I'd hear my CFI, want, and I might hear propeller or turn, and then a whole lot of other stuff. But this time I'm actually beginning to really, you know, feel it. So for that reason, definitely feeling a lot better. So can you believe it? 3 weeks in a row back in action. And some of you may be asking, well, what's up with your social distancing? Why did you guys wear a mask? Well, to be honest with you, it's really difficult to do that. We tried to do it. It was hard to make radio calls. I was actually wearing one of my busts from back in the day, but it just got to be too hard to do that. So we're really trying to, like, when we talk forward. We really don't like face each other and that kind of stuff. And it is tight in the cockpit, but we do the best we can. But we're back to it. All right. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, leave one. Any questions, reactions, any of that kind of stuff, always welcome. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I ask that you do so, because it really does mean a lot. And definitely during that period of grounding, to see people continuing to watch the videos, it really encouraged me to keep going. So you guys have made the difference. You really have. So thank you for the support, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Russ Kid, I'm out. 2 fingers, y'all. I know that's corny, but whatever.